Today we're bringing you 14 animals you definitely won't recognize without hair or fur. Welcome to another episode of Top Quick Peek. And if you've never seen what's underneath an owl's glorious feathers, you'll be shocked at number 3. As humans, we suffer a certain amount of hair loss as we age. This is especially true of men who are prone to becoming partially or completely bald as they grow older. However, most furred and feathered animals don't seem to share this trait at all and keep most of their hair throughout their entire lifetime. That's why it's rare to see mammals or birds without the distinctive features we know them by. And while a select few, like the Sphinx cat and the naked mole rat, are in fact famous for their natural baldness, some can become bald due to stress, genetic disorders, and conditions such as alopecia. It's incredible how baldness makes some of the largest predators look harmless, while turning some of the sweetest and fluffiest animals into unusual and scary-looking creatures. So let's see if you can recognize some of these animals without their natural fur. Number 14, bald hedgehog. Hedgehogs' wrinkly bodies normally have around 500 spikes, which not only keep them warm, but also protect them from predators like owls, cats, and foxes. However, due to a rare zinc deficiency or childhood distress, it is possible for these cute little guys to go completely bald at birth, unaware that they're walking into a dangerous world without any sort of protection. Some of these wrinkly little fellows are lucky enough to be picked up by a helping human hand. Hedgehogs who lose their spikes also require constant care to make sure that their skin stays oiled, gleaming, and healthy, which is another benefit of having a human friend caring for them. Number 13, bald fox. To see these brilliant forest creatures without their signature fur is quite an unusual sight, and yet, foxes do go bald. Unfortunately, it is caused by a parasitic mite called Sarcoptes scabiei, which live under the fox's skin and slurp natural occurring liquids that are crucial for hair health. This is extremely irritating for the poor fox, which will scratch at the area, leading to notable hair loss. Even though they're genetically more closely related to dogs, foxes are often compared to cats for their agility and slinky bodies. If the connection was tough to picture before, just look at these foxes without their coats and fluffy tails. Number 12, bald bear. Without its majestic fur, a bear looks less like a real animal and a lot more like some mystical creature out of a scary fairy tale. Believe it or not, this is actually what a bear looks like when it loses most of its hair. Baldness in bears might not be the most common occurrence on Earth, but it definitely still happens, and is often due to irritating parasitic infections, like the ones found in foxes. If you thought the bald bear was a shocking sight, wait until you see the owl at number 3 without all its fluff. Number 11, bald penguin. Penguins are famously known for their black and white feathers, which also help make their species waterproof. But what does a penguin look like without all its feathers? Take a look. In its very own way, it's still kind of cute. But how does the rest of its pack feel about the outcast? Who knows? But one thing's for sure, this bald penguin is going to need a little more cuddling in the colder winter months. Number 10, bald echidna. Echidna have spines like a porcupine, a beak like a duck, and a pounce like a kangaroo, and lay eggs like a reptile, also known as spiny anteaters. These Australian mammals are unique in their own right, even with hair. Now, a bald echidna is a whole new level of unusual. But hair or no hair, they still retain all of their cuteness. Just look at those adorable rolls and spikes. Number 9, bald chicken. Chickens rely heavily on warmth for survival, especially right at birth. Now, the cute thing about a chicken being born without feathers is that you get the chance to knit him lots of adorable sweaters and other outfits to help keep him warm. These hairless chickens don't seem to be letting their lack of feathers keep them from being cock of the walk. Confidence all the way. Number 8, bald chimpanzee. When it comes to biology, many would argue that human beings are more closely related to chimps than any other animal on Earth. And while several biologists would beg to differ, there's just something about these bald chimpanzees that make it pretty convincing argument. Not to mention, they can look a little more intimidating than their otherwise hairier friends. Similar to us humans, chimpanzees lose their hair on their heads with age. However, for them to go completely bald on their entire bodies usually means they have stress-induced alopecia, which can also happen to humans, just that it won't look as unusual as on a chimp. Number 7, bald guinea pig. While a hairless chimpanzee can look a little more disconcerting than usual, these little fellows definitely earn bonus points for being almost cuter without any fur. If you love cuddly pets that don't require a lot of exercise, you should try adopting a guinea pig. While there are many possible reasons for hair loss in guinea pigs, the most common reason by far is microscopic mange mites, a painful parasitic condition that can be treated. Unlike with us humans, old age does not cause hair loss in rodents. Number 6. Bald deer. The sight of a deer, symbols of nature's gentle beauty, without its fur can be quite shocking to say the least. How often does anyone stop and think about what's going on beneath Bambi's coat? It's a pretty strange sight for sure. Scientists know that some hair loss can occur on a deer due to rubbing and chewing on fur that is infested with lice. An infestation of muscle worms or faulty immune system may also contribute to hair loss. But to this day, it's unclear to us why some deers go completely bald. Number 5. Sphinx cat. The main feature of a Sphinx cat is its complete lack of fur. Due to its name, many attribute the Sphinx hairless trait to the belief that they come from warmer climates like Egypt. But this couldn't be further from the truth. While hairless cat species have existed for centuries, the Sphinx breed was selectively bred in Canada to obtain their bald traits. The breeding program began in 1966 when a pet cat gave birth to a hairless male kitten. To this day, most Sphinx are descendants from 3 hairless kittens found in Toronto in 1978. Not so exotic after all, but cute nonetheless. Number 4. Bald baboon. Out of all the bald animals, baboons are probably one of the creepiest sights. Like this 4-foot female who was found wandering alone in the African bush by a British housewife in Zimbabwe. Baboons are found throughout Central and Southern Africa, living in troops of up to 250. But totally bald and alone, it's no wonder this female baboon had such a long face. That said, this bald baby baboon is a whole pile of adorable. Somehow its lack of fur only serves to highlight his snuggly face. Number 3. Bald rat. It's all too easy to confuse a regular hairless rat with the famous naked mole rat. However, they are not the same species. A hairless rat is in fact a rat without its hair. Most bald rats are hairless due to a genetic mutation that causes their hair to fall off just a few weeks after birth. In more rare instances, rats are specifically bred to be hairless, and for lack of originality, they're named Sphinx rats, just like their hairless cat counterparts. Usually, these rats are bred specifically to be used in labs for research and not as pets. These rats tend to live about half the lifespan of a normal rat because they suffer from respiratory, bacterial, kidney, and liver diseases due to their genetic makeup, which weakens their immune system. Number 2. Bald owl. Now, we all know feathers make up the bulk of a bird's body, but everyone on the internet has been flipping out over what a featherless owl looks like. Known to be the poofiest birds alive and heavily admired for their cuteness, it's quite shocking to see what's really underneath all those glorious feathers. An owl without feathers might as well be some kind of alien or dinosaur. We don't know about you guys, but we still are not over the weirdness of the owl skull. This is one of those times we just wish we could press the unseen button. Number 1. Bald rabbit. When most people think of a cuddly little rabbit, the first thing that comes to mind are their incredibly soft furs and their fluffy little tails. That's not the case with this particular bunny. Like other animals, rabbits have their own skin mite, which can cause hairs to come out easily in clumps, usually with some coarse flakes of skin attached. Bald or not, these remain some of the cutest looking creatures, and anyone in their right mind would want to give them a loving pat on the head. And that's it for today's video. Would you have recognized any of these animals without their feathers or fur? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this video, you're going to love our next one. Don't forget to subscribe for even more awesome animal stories like this one, and see you in the next one.